Hello everyone! I finally beat the extra hidden boss in Octopath Traveler 2, so I wanted to share this setup with you, just to note a couple of things that bothered me during these attempts. It took me like 2 days to get it done, but finally I managed to get it. There are a couple of guides out there that you can follow. Mine was focusing on the Temenos in the second fight and using him as an elemental attacker, while in the first fight I was using Hikari and Ochet to attack the boss in the first phase. The more physical attack points you get with Hikari and Ochet is the better, of course. You can follow my setup with this equipment part. Usually I was focusing on just raising the physical attack for the mentioned characters, plus some critical attacks, because the critical attacks also buff your damage. When you debuff the enemy, buff yourself, and you have criticals up, then you will deal massive damage. So for the first fight I was using Hikari Ochet, and I was using Oswald and Casti. Casti was my BP dealer, so basically she was just pumping the BP points when using her apothecary skills, that you can mix concoctions and such. And for Oswald, well, basically he was not the attacker in my fight, he was just buffing with using a cleric special max BP skill to give extra 3 turns at the end of the turn. And basically that's what you want to focus on. For the second fight and for Temenos, just raise elemental attack for Temenos and raise speed for Throne as max as you can. Also check the jobs I was using. You can do different combinations if you want. For me this was, let's say, perfect and it worked fine, so I just went with this. Okay, for support skills I was reading a couple of guides and this is what worked for me. Basically you want to break damage limit for the characters you will use to deal damage. That was Hikari and Ochet for me. Also you want to save some special points, so I'll use that ones. Some couple of inventor skills that I was using more on every character. And for the second fight, where I have Patricio, Agnea, Temenos and Tron, I was using the skill to get the first turn a step ahead, so you can basically play a turn ahead of the boss, which you need to. And basically that's it for the support skills. For the items, what you want to have is a lot of healing items for your BP points. You want to have ancient Cursed Talisman, to debuff the boss in the second phase, and this is the important part. I was missing a couple of damage points in the second fight, I was too weak. So basically what I did, I raised the elemental attack with these nuts for Temenos. This is what I gathered during my game, during my journey. And I also raised speed for Throne, and I raised physical attack for Patricio a bit, Hikari and Ochet for a bit. You can do as you see fit, but this also, do not forget about the Forbidden Elixirs. These can lower your HP to 1 point and recover your special points and basically BP points that you want to have for the second fight. And make sure to have these 2 beasts that you need to capture and use in the first phase, because it makes the fight so much easier. You will see, I will explain everything during the fight. And good skill is for Hikari to learn is a target strike, which will inflict critical, let's say, debuff on the enemy, which is combined with raising your physical attack and reducing his armor to deal more damage. And one really important thing, make sure it's night time. With this setup, without the night time, you will not get debuffs in the second fight. Without that, you just cannot win. So make sure it's a night time. I messed up that couple of times and I was really mad, so don't make that mistake. Okay, so now the first phase. In the first phase I like to start with raising my BP points for everyone. Start with Ochet. You will need to use her. This will require a bit of luck. With using Dreadwing capture, you basically have 20% to kill off any of the spawns. Sometimes it takes more time, sometimes it will happen on the first turn. It almost never happened to me on the first turn, so I was really lucky this time in this fight. So when you break up the limbs with this, when you break off these spawns, the next thing you want to do, well, basically you have to raise your special points. You have to think about reducing the armor points and staggering the boss. So just combine these things, medical concoctions and using the BP and strengthening the concoctions is the way to go. I was missing BP concoctions, so I was combining that with items. But basically what you wanna do, you wanna grant Casti to act at the end of the turn for 3 times from Oswald, and then she can always buff the BP points for all of the characters. So basically when you stagger the boss, you have extra turns with everyone, and you use Casti to heal BP points and to maximum the output damage with the other characters. Like I said, Ochet is your main armor stagger girl, so when you cut off the limbs you will free the armor shackles from the boss, and now you can use the frog to inflict double strike and reduce armor at the same time to get the boss in the stagger phase. Also, at this point I was a bit too fast. It's good to inflict also targets a strike to deal critical hits on the boss, so do that as well, and after that you can basically just pump the BP points with Casti and deal as much damage as you can with the rest of the characters. When you're mixing the concoctions, make sure to use the Mighty Leaf and diffuse that to everyone, so you get the physical attack up bonus. Now with the targeted strike that raises the critical, and you have reduced the armors to the boss, and you have physical attack up, your physical fighters will deal the most damage. You can also use the ancient Cursed Talisman to reduce the other stats, but at this point I don't think it was necessary, but I had 4 of them, so I used them. Most of the videos I watched were inflicting more damage than I did. Basically I think that they have more physical attack than I have at this point, and also for the skills I was using I don't even know how to pronounce this one, but I was using this one. It inflicts 2 strikes, and yeah, it's basically it was doing the most damage for me, so I was just using that, and it doesn't spend a lot of special points. So like you can see, I'm using Casti to restore BP points, and when I need to, I restore either health points or special points. So I think you get the idea. Once you get the hang of this, it's not really that hard, but it requires a bit of patience and some time. When this happens, and probably it will happen, you're back to basics, you're back to start. You can prolong the critical on the boss at this point if you want with Hikari, or you can just heal your BP points if you have some extra turns like I had at this point, because I was waiting for Ochet to get rid of the spawns. She is the best for that. You can also stagger them and kill them with other characters, but it just I didn't want to do that. Yeah, Alfric's Blessing is the best skill you can use, and the one you should use on every turn with Oswald to get extra turns at the end of the turn. So basically you act twice during the turn. Yeah, like you see, Ochet, and you pray to God that this deals killing strike to all of the spawns. I think I did this now 3 times in 3 turns in a row, and they survived. So basically I was almost dead at this point. Yeah, I wanted to quit, but there is no quit option during the fight. I was lazy to turn off the PlayStation, I mean the application, and just load again. So I tried to continue. Yeah, it's not the ideal situation, but these things can happen. So really, you need to be patient. Like I said, it took me 2 days to beat this bastard. So pump your BP points, use Ochet, and you need a bit of luck and just use the Dreadwing to possibly get rid of the spawn. There is no other better way to get rid of them. This is just one brainless thing to do, and you should do it. In this phase, if you don't kill the spawn, and if you're not attacking with the vulnerability, his weakness, he will counter attack, which will mostly kill you, or it will not. I was a bit lucky, but yeah, like you see now, I was almost dead at this point, and he was respawning now, and yeah, I was really mad. But yeah, I continued. I think I will start now to resurrect my party, and again, Alfred's blessing to get extra turns with, let's see, yeah, I choose Casti. I was choosing Casti, Hikari, and then Ochet, and then repeating this granting 3 turns skill. That worked the best for me with this setup. So with Casti, I think I will heal now, or I will not. Yeah, I had to heal because with this fire circling through the screen, on every turn the boss will deduct some damage. So if you have low health points, you will die. I had to heal here because he inflicts, yeah, you see, when every turn starts, it just inflicts damage, and that is really not good if you're not watching for your healing, for your health points. So I tried again with the chat. I had less and less BP points on me, and yeah, I was almost dead at this point. But I decided to revive everyone and just to continue, and you will see. This was my winning fight at the end. So yeah, it's good maybe to show that you don't have to quit every time you're in this position. You can pull it out. The fight is really frustrating. I don't know what were they thinking actually, but maybe I'm also too weak at this point. I'm level 75 with Hikari and Oswald, I think, and 60 something with Ochet and Casti, and the rest of the crew is at level 50 something. Really low for this fight. Probably you need to be around level 80 or something like that to have an easier time, and maybe some better equipment, although I was following some guides and I had the best equipment that you can possibly have in the game. So yeah, I don't know, it's really weird that this boss is so hard and so aggressive. Okay, so I managed to pull it off. I'm now pumping my BP points with different items. I'm trying to heal as much as I can, and I will do everything to use Ochet to stagger the boss. At this point, yeah, I was giving everything to Casti because she has the BP healing items, and it's good to have more of her special BP attacks combined with this medicinal concoction. So every time you have her latent power filled, just use that. Just use that so you don't have to spend the concoctions items. Yeah, this one, a pomegranate leaf. I was really low on these. You can maybe gather more of them before the fight. I was not doing that. I was just winging it. So whenever you can, just use her latent power to save the items. And yeah, back to basics again. And now using the frog X attack to get rid of the shield of the enemy, also inflict the armor down debuff on the boss. And yeah, we are back to Hikari, and he can deal a lot of damage this way. And now Oswald to give extra turns. Yeah, like I mentioned, do that to Casti so she can buff the BP points to everyone, because when you break the armor to the boss or any enemy, the next turn is basically your turn when you connect. And combining with this extra at the end of the turn skill, you can see you are in for a treat. You can inflict a lot of damage, but you just need Casti to heal your BP points. Either you can't, without that you just can't inflict a lot of damage for a couple of times, and with this approach you can. So yeah, maybe the better approach is to use the R Master job on Hikari and just with the chat just go with something else. I was following that path throughout the whole game, and Hikari was really massive physical damage guy for me, but for this fight I just went with what some guy said. I have to play other games as well. This took a lot of my time, almost 100 hours, and before that it was Yakuza Ishin, 120 hours I think. So yeah, I have a lot of times on a lot of games, other games on my play that I have to play. So yeah, this had to be fastened a bit. Okay, this is almost the end of the fight now. Maybe 3 more minutes of inflicting some damage points. But so yeah, this is almost it. I will leave it to it now, and in 2 or 3 minutes I will see you in the next phase. The next phase is, they all say, the easier one, but if you ask me, it was the harder one, because you really don't have any choice there other than buffing and debuffing and having maybe a bit, not a bit of luck, just good preparation. If you prepare real good, then you will win. And for me, what made the difference was the elemental points and speed points on Trone and elemental points on Temenos that made the difference. Without these, I wasn't inflicting enough damage to kill off the 3 secondary, the 2 I think 2 arms, 1 head, and then the boss. You can damage the boss, the main boss part, and the main boss part just wasn't dying. Even though I followed the other videos and everything, I was missing a couple of, like I said, points, and I used the nuts to gain these with my characters that I used for attack, and that made the difference for me.
I call upon Elfric, the Flamebringer!
My turn. No mercy, only pain. Use this to
I'm a true friend.
For the second fight, if you prepared properly, it's going to be really easy. If the order of your party members start differently than what you see in my video, just replicate what I'm doing when it's their turn. Started with Pertitio. Yeah, with Pertitio, use his latent power, scholar skills and Alafan's wisdom on Temenos to give him 3 attacks with his advanced magic. With Trone, use her latent power to gain 1 extra turn, and then you can use reinforcing gem, sorry, that will heal her BP points and give her again the latent power. Then on the second turn you can use Alfred's blessing on Agnia, I think, yeah, to give her 1 extra turn. You will need her to delay boss's attack at the end of this turn. With Temenos, you need to have 1 health point, which you can easily get by using the Forbidden Elixir on him before this battle, and of course in the battle use it to gain BP points and to fully heal without healing the health points. With Agnia, use critical and her latent power with inventor skills to give critical to all parts of the boss, and like you saw now, use her dancer skill to delay the attack. Now on this turn you can again use the latent power with Trone and heal her like in the first turn, and then after this you can use the scholar skill to give Temenos 1 extra turn at the end of this turn. Okay, now with Agnia again. I think I will attack now with her. Yeah, you can use all the 3 BP points with Agnia and use the inventor skill, the strongest one, to hit the head. I think I was watching some video or reading some some guide what to do now with this turn. Probably I will use the inventor skill hammer, something like that, and fully boost this and attack the head. Let's see. Probably I was doing that. Okay, yeah, I was doing that. It's Hestering Hammer time. It's basically using all your BP points and using Hestering Hammer on the head. Yeah, I was not doing a lot of damage with this, but it helps to reduce the health of this part. And now with Particio, it's good also to use his merchant skills to hire the multiple hits from the hired help. I think it's 30,000 gills. Let's see now, hired help, yeah, veteran soldier, yes, and use all of his BP points to, of course, raise the damage and number of hits. With the fully charged BP you have 4 hits, and with this 3. Okay, now this is the most important part. His cleric skill. This one, it drains these SP points, but when you have 1 health point plus the accessories, which I showed you at the beginning of the fight, plus if you gave him some nuts to raise his elemental attack, with the proper rod you will be dealing this kind of damage. It took me 1 day to to actually get to this point to inflict so much damage. Yeah, because of Alfred's blessing you have extra hits now at the end of the turn, so use another Forbidden Elixir to fully heal Temenos for the next and the last turn, and with Trone, with Agnia, you use this Windy Refrain to delay enemies' attack in this next turn. Okay, now this is the last turn. If you mess this up, I think you will not survive. At least I didn't. Every time I was obliterated if I messed up something here. So what I will do now here is, you will see, this is the last turn with Particio. I was also, I think, watching some video now checking what should I do, what should I do. My heart was beating, I was nearly done, but yeah. Yeah, Ancient Cursed Talisman. This is what you must do to lower the defense while having the critical boost also on the boss. And now with Trone, I think just I will heal some. Yeah, I will heal Trone now, and yeah, a latent power Trone, give her reinforced gem again or any healing that will heal your BP points, and now fully go with Iber's Reckoning. If you have a high speed with Trone, you will inflict a lot of damage. It took me also a couple of tries to get this properly, and I did. And this last attack, it will be from Temenos. If you don't kill the boss now at this turn, he has 4 turns and then 2 extra turns at the next turn, you're dead. So yeah, I was really happy now at this point, and yeah, thanks for watching. This was it.